So 10:39 MTN Fresh. Got MI in the studio.
Yes, sir. I tried to change my name to the guy.
Yeah.
It's not going well.
No.
People have rejected me at every turn, but I'm glad to be here. How are you guys doing?
I'm
Doing
fantastic.
good, man. Emma is such a household name. Like, why would you even want to change it
To the guy.
Oh, I was
Guy.
gassed, man. That day I was just so hype. I was like, man, my album's coming out. It's called
I'm
The
the
Guy.
Guy.
I'm changing my name to The Guy.
He wanted to like
And
drop a
then-
ditty. He wanted to do a ditty.
The love on it.
Yeah, but I made Ibuka call me The Guy on air, so
Okay.
I'm happy about that.
Okay, so I guess
alright.
OC and I can call you the guy.
Yeah, please.
Liable to slip up,
Just
though.
introduce me.
So ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the guy.
And the car goes round.
But he's changed his name too many times. There was the Denzel. There was the young Denzel.
Denzel,
I'm just like this guy.
yeah.
So a different album brings a different side of his personality, different side of
Yeah.
his music, and a different name. Multiple
Facts.
personality disorder is what some people
Yeah,
call it.
so but I mean I think it's always telling. It's like you have like the Machala or like you're always trying to use some sort of title to describe your mindset as an artist, how you're seeing the world and what your perspective is. And right now I just feel like I'm the guy,
You're the guy.
for many reasons.
Yeah.
For many reasons.
What are the reasons?
So the first thing is, as a project, I want to project out to the world that we should all feel that way, and this has been a theme for me. If you listen to like a lot of the work, it's about saying that everybody. This is the way I describe it. When you were a baby, and if you watch babies, you'll see this. You were not afraid to fail. You were not afraid to try. You would get up. You'd bruise your knee. You'd fall, but you just wanted to try new things. As you get older, we sort of lose that power, that energy. You become afraid. We have anxiety. We become insecure. We're worried about what people will say. And the way for you to keep pushing forward is for you to always look at yourself and be like, but look how far I've come. I'm the guy. I'm the person that did this. I'm the girl that, whatever that phrase you want to use is, and just believe in yourself. So that's what this project is about. It's about being in yourself, believing in yourself, and having the freedom to express that with the world.
Okay,
Absolutely.
great. So I'm looking at the track list for the album right now, and I'm mind blown by the quality. That's
Thank you, sir.
That's on there. There's Chopsticks, Olamide, there's Nas, there's Vino, there's Duncan Mighty, there's OC Grace, there's Wanda Cole, Caveman, Fino, Chills, Tommy Owo Benson, and the Chuck Boys got together for one.
Yes, so yes,
so that's
sir.
called More Life.
Yes,
And
sir.
I see what he did there, More Life.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
there's a
sir.
Drake song, More Life. And
Yes,
I
sir.
know I kind of know what you're trying to do with that record. So featuring Jesse Jaggs and Ice Spring.
Yeah.
So, and you know how it's weird and how it's crazy how as a young boy, growing up to MI's music and how gassed we used to be back in the day.
Ossie, don't say that. There's
Why?
the two Ossie Grace on there, so I mixed it.
Yeah.
Ossie, don't say you were growing up to my music. Just say
I did
in
that.
the past, because if you say that, you make me look. Just say before. Say that year.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that year. So nobody tests me. All those songs. Then I remember how you guys even influenced fashion choices as well.
Yeah.
With the lumberjacks and
Yeah,
everything. Then with the G-Shocks. Then with the high tops.
I remember we met pretty early, man.
Yeah.
This guy, a young entrepreneur, was in they had a magazine.
Yeah.
And I met him. He's just brilliant. He was, and look. The thing about it is that some people you meet and you always know they're going to be great. You always know that you're going to see them down the road. And it's congrats by the way
Thanks
on all
so much,
the
my brother.
on every and the things you haven't yet
Yeah.
announced that you've told me
I know.
about.
Yeah, sure.
Congrats on all that as
Thank
well.
you so
know
much.
what I
So
mean?
it's great to see how you've been such an integral part of the shaping of the Nigerian music industry, because I'd say you got to a time where great songs were coming out, but
Right.
MI just came and just moved it all the way forward, and see where it is right now is
Yes,
because
sir.
of the people artists like you that actually just carried it on your back. So rap is popular worldwide. Everywhere you go, there are rappers. When you look at the UK, the grime scene is blowing up right now. When you look at the US, the same thing. But it seems like in Nigeria, we claim to be hip hop heads and we jam to a lot of what's it called right now, foreign rappers. But
Yeah.
when you now look at the quality of lives that our rappers are leading, we don't tend to see it doesn't match. So the streaming numbers are not way up there. They do shows and people do not even turn up or anything. So do you feel like there's a disconnect in a way?
Yeah, I always I get a little bit confused about this question, and the reason why is that maybe maybe the way to frame it is say rap has never been the dominant genre in Nigerian music.
Okay.
And right now Afrobeat is having a moment.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been High Life, it could have been, you know, Fuji, it could have been another sound, but right now it's Afrobeat and it's having a moment, which I think is going to open the doors for everyone.
Exactly.
But when people talk about like rap in this moment, like I look around me and I still see like Bado, you know, doing it. I still see Ladipo. I still see a Shodem Camp. I still see Files. I know AQ is dropping great projects.
Yeah.
You know, I look at at Alpha Genie and Odumodu Black and like all these guys who are ascending. You know what I mean? And I say to myself like, I don't know what the expectation is. Like obviously it's not Nigerian hip hop having the moment. It's Afrobeat.
Right.
But how has that, like, rappers are still very much relevant. There's still much influence in the culture, at least from my perspective. If you were just to compare, I don't think that I don't think you can compare even like world reggae music with Afrobeat right now. Like
Right.
Afrobeat is just the hottest thing globally.
Yeah.
You know, and so I don't know if it's a fair comparison. I think that rappers are doing pretty well. If you look at like the rap category every year now, you're gonna see like there's so many dope rappers.
Yeah.
Fino,
Fino, yeah.
like they're just everywhere you turn. There are rappers that are you know.
I mean, yeah, I think that's valid, but I also think the conversation kind of starts or began where it seemed like a lot of rappers or artists that started off as rappers then ventured off into singing. And I think that's where the misconception that, okay, rappers are not really doing that great or, you know, that's where that conversation stemmed from. So
Yeah.
what do you say to the rappers or the musicians, I should say, that maybe started off as rappers and then maybe ventured off into singing when they saw that rap wasn't really paying the bills because you know sometimes you gotta eat too.
No. I would say that there are rappers who are rappers. There are rappers who are musicians. There are musicians who will rap, right? So you think about like Style Plus and Shifi, who is not a rapper, but
Yeah,
you
but
know
he
he
knows how
has
to, yeah.
you know he has verses that
That's-
arguably are some of the most popular verses
Verses,
you know
yeah.
in Nigerian history, right? And then you have people like Mode 9, who is a rapper's rapper.
Yeah.
He's not doing a melody. In the middle you have a lot of people
Yeah.
who dabble between the two. Myself, Jesse Jags, Ice Prince, Nato C, you know, like, and I would say that that's even part of the fabric of hip hop. Let's go back to like Bone Thugs. Let's go back to like Nelly or Ja Rule, or like it's part of the fabric of hip hop. So I don't think it's a new thing. I think it's something that should be encouraged. I have a line in You Rappers Fix Up Your Lives where I say rappers are singing now just to get popular, and I think people were interpreted that to mean I was saying rappers shouldn't sing. I was saying if you're a rapper and the only reason you're singing is to get popular, I have a problem with that. But if you are just an artist that's making dope content and putting it out, you know, I encourage that. I always have. I was singing on my first album, you know, on Forever and the voice, Money Slow to Enter, that's my voice. On many songs, multiple songs. So
Right.
I believe as an artist, do what inspires you and makes you.
Yeah. I mean, do you think, you know, the culture of a people, you know, shapes the kind of music that they vibe to? Because when you look at the UK, you know, for example, you look at the genres that are popular there. I was going through my things yesterday and I picked up a book. It was, I think I started writing that book in 2006, and it was all the things I wanted to say when I go on radio, you know. And
Wow.
Betty Rabos signed on it. I was almost crying because it just showed me how far I'd come.
Wow.
Then on top of the cover was a radio show called Selector. So Selector
Wow.
was sponsored by the British Council back in the day on the popular radio station. I can't mention his name. So that was how active they were trying to push, you know, British music into Nigeria. So when you look at, you know, the songs that are popular, you know, in the UK, the US, you still have the rap, you still have the R&Bs, you still have the jazz and everything. So do you think that because we are more in Nigeria, we are more high lifey, party, and that shapes the kind of music that, you know, would actually, you know, get a foothold like here, then that you have other genres? Because when you look at South Africa, for example, rap is big there. You get me? So when you look at the culture of apartheid, you know, the singing,
Even in SA right now, I think I hear, respectfully, I hear that they're having that same conversation right now because of the moment Amapiano is having.
yes.
You know what I mean? And again, it doesn't mean that, like, how will like a genre, let's say a genre has 5% growth, 5% GDP, which is gross double your play, you know, every year, and you're doing the 5%, and then another genre has this global moment, and now he's doing like 100%.
Yeah.
Then everybody turns and looks at you. You're doing your 5, or you're doing your 8%. Whatever. You don't have any grit here, 15%.
I know.
Everybody turns and looks at you. I mean, like the year that Poe had last year.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that was
Like,
that was
you know what I
something.
mean? But it doesn't get attributed to hip hop. But it was a monster year. It was like, it was a year like when Ice Prince put out Oleku.
My
Do you know what I'm saying?
goodness,
Where
man.
Ice Prince just ran everything.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Ladipo was literally like #1 records everywhere. You know what I mean? And is still, you know, Big Energy is still doing it.
Oh yes.
And I don't. It just doesn't get attributed. But I think it's just because the light of Afrobeat is so bright right now
Right.
that everything is seen in that comparison. But I think also you've touched on something that's really profound, which is say that we're still interweaving hip hop into our culture.
Into our culture.
Into our culture.
And I also want to just point out something, baby, just before you say something as well. So with this album, though, with every album you've put out, you know, I hear different MI.
Yeah.
You know, I hear your growth. I hear your stories. I think you wear your heart on your sleeves. You know, when I see your tweets, when I see the things you're passionate about, when I see, you know, the collaborations that you do. So with this The Guy album, it's different from Young Denzel. It's different from, I think one of my favorite MI projects used to be the mixtapes you used to put out back in the day. Jesus Christ, Illegal Music. Then I remember, Jesus, I'm old. Then you did this collaboration with, was it a magazine then? Where
Yeah.
so
We can't say the name, but
where you buy the magazine
Yeah.
and you get it in.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, 2009. Oh my
God.
goodness.
Yeah, so I remember that.
Yeah,
Then
I
used to
was 15 by the way. 2009.
So with this one, I see a lot of maturity, especially when you look at the quality of the collaborations that you have there. You have Olamide, you have Nas, you have Duncan Mighty. I'm really, I think the last time I've been excited for an album was maybe when you put out MI2 or something.
Yeah.
So that's the level of excitement I have for this album
Oh,
right
wow.
now.
Thank
So what's the thrust of this album? Where's your mind at when you
you're gonna meet Jude.
Okay.
You know, I think that's the underlying thing behind the guys.
Okay.
Like we create masks to interface with the world.
Right.
So MI in a way is like, you know, this braggadocious, very confident, and behind it there's a real person, Jude, who has a real life. And I have never really shared much of my life. This year when I got engaged, I shared a little bit, and I sort of started saying to myself, you know, like a lot of the work I'm doing and a lot of the things that are around me, I want to be able to open up a little bit more as part of my art as well, because I want to be able to show people that, you know, that being yourself is the truest form of self-love, like being truly who you are, you know. And so this album, you're going to hear a lot about that. You're going to hear me talk about love. I think this album has more like love content than any other. You're still going to hear, you know, classic MI talk that talk, you know what I mean. I talk about mental health as well. I have a song called Soldier with Tommy Owo, which we don't, I think that, and I want to say this very like I want to be careful as I say it.
Right.
So men get trashed a lot on social media, and I think a lot of it is deserved, because if you look at like the statistics about like sexual assault, and
domestic violence,
and stuff like that, like men, like as a genre, men have to men have to do better. Forget hip hop, men have to do better as a genre. But at the same time, what's happening is that the reason that's happening is because generally men don't know how to be vulnerable, and maybe there's no space for that in society,
Right.
you know. And so that song sort of, you know, addresses
talks about that,
because if you look at the suicide rates, you know, it's clearly young men by a long shot. They're way ahead, because where do you go, or where can you cry, where can you tell someone I need help? You know, it's not even a thing that most men would think about saying to someone as a sentence.
True.
I need
Right.
help.
I need help. Yeah,
Right.
true.
You know, especially if it's not like I need help to push a car. If it's not a
Right.
physical thing,
Yeah.
if it's something emotional or something that you're dealing with, to say the words I need help to someone else, it feels almost like,
It feels
man, I'm
like what you doing.
Absolutely.
emasculated. But we all need help in life.
We
you know?
all do. And
So,
I'm sure that there's so many young men that will listen to your album and listen to that song in particular, and it will speak to them. Because like you said, a lot of men in this Nigeria in particular, or in Africa, I guess you could say, just due to the pressures of growing up in a household where you're taught that the physiological needs are really the only needs that are important. And your mental needs, go and sit down.
Yeah,
Make sure that you
absolutely.
take care and you cater for your physical needs. It's great that they'll have somebody like you that I know a lot of people look up to at least speak that
speak about
gospel,
it.
speak about these
Thank
things.
you so much. Thank you.
So we're currently in the era of the guy.
Yes, sir.
And just like OC mentioned, there has been so many other eras. You kickstarted your album with the guy single, which is like basically drill, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But before that, there was the likes of the song that you had, also All
My Life.
We've seen so many sides of you, and I think that's the beautiful thing about you as an artist.
Yes, thank you so much.
You continue to evolve within your music, but how do you do that? How do you decide that, okay, this is the direction I'm going in now?
That's a good question. I want to say about that. I think that you have a very bright music mind. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She
like
does.
all the comments that she's been making. You know what I mean?
I try.
Yeah. Somebody give her an air.
Thank you.
They're not physicians,
Sign
ladies and
me.
gentlemen. But for young artists out there, this is the thing I'll say: don't rush to start. Because the journey long ahead of you. Like we're talking about 15 years now from when Nigeria knew me.
Yeah.
It's not from when. And the only reason I've been able to show up and still make music is because I am firmly constructed as an artist in the inception. I know how to make music. I know how to sing, rap, harmonize, produce, engineer. I have that. So as music changes,
You're
I'm
able to
able
adapt.
to
evolve
with it.
it, yeah.
In fact, the sound right now is the closest it's been to the sound that was there when I came out.
Oh wow.
So if you think about 2007, 2008, and 9, you think about Gongwaso, you think about Asha's music,
Yeah.
you think about we're back at the place now where great music
Music's
is just
happened.
winning.
A little bit of your personal life. It was first time I've known you for a minute, and despite the fact that I've known a couple women you've been with, but it's the first time that you were very
Wow. Wait, first of all, what do you say you've known a couple women I've been with?
Yes,
what
sir.
sort of known?
Hi,
There's a biblical sense.
Oh, and
You're
Jude
gonna say,
knew.
and Jude knew Elizabeth. So what do you mean?
No. So, but this was the first time you came out, hey, world, meet my woman. And for me, I was just like, oh wow, it caught me by surprise. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
The marriage is happening. So what else? There's something that people say that when you fall in love, that it makes other parts of your life easier.
Or
Well,
actually
first of all-
unproductive. They actually say that when you're in love, you're unproductive. It's
Yeah.
actually statistically
Yeah.
proven. People in love are less productive.
Yeah.
Really?
And it's true. Are you in love right now?
Oh yeah, I'm more productive when I'm calm and I can focus.
Yeah, but you also acknowledge off mic that you don't spend all the time with your lady.
Well, but all
So
I'm
that could be a
saying,
contributing factor.
No,
So wait, what's his love? What's going on here, man? The
I'm
world
trying to
knows
follow
my
the
own.
guy.
The world knows my own, but
I'm trying to be like the guy.
are you even saying it on air? Babes, I don't want problems. I beat you. You don't see a line of babes outside there.
Billy Ray said.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but how's that been for you though?
Well, first of all, the reason I shared, and when I was sharing, guys, I'll be honest with you, I thought that it was going to be like a birthday post. Like, you'd be like, congrats. And then the next day, they'd move on.
They'd
So I
move
posted at 7 o'clock on a Sunday evening. I don't know, naive me.
Yeah.
Yo, when I tell you, I woke up the next morning and I was like, what the heck is happening?
Yeah.
My phone was going crazy. It was just everywhere. But I didn't want, because we had gotten engaged and she was already wearing a ring and people knew, I didn't want someone else to tell the story. And that happens. It already started leaking out here and there.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me say it. Let me say that I'm engaged.
Yeah.
Because she's not in the entertainment business. I have to sort of be responsible for, a little bit of how she's received. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then in terms of relationships and making it easier and man, I don't know, like life is life. We were talking about
Life
that
is
when we
life,
were-
eh?
life is life. So this year with planning a wedding and everything, it has been it's been a lot of stress. Weddings are well, you know what it was funny when we first got engaged, her parents told us, they were like, go to Vegas or go to an island, just do it. And then whatever anybody wants to give you,
Let
they just
them
give it
work
to
on it,
you.
yeah.
You guys can just start your lives.
Exactly.
And I was like, get out of here. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not, nobody doing
Now
that.
you see what they were saying.
Bro,
Sense.
please, if you're getting married this year, go to the registry and marry.
Yeah.
I just
Because
keep it moving,
is,
man. I
it is,
know.
especially in a year where the dollar is going crazy.
Well,
You in a
I-
relationship?
no,
I'm not in a
she's on the
relationship. Why are you
streets.
answering for me? I'm not
Because
on the
I
street.
know I'm the only man in her life. You're the constant man in her
I
life.
am.
What is dating like in
It's the
for
ghetto.
Can I tell you the truth? Dating is ghetto.
I feel bad for them.
Dating is horrible. Honestly, it's bad. If you're
Wow.
single in Lagos, no
Yeah.
cap, it is
Wow.
actually bad. I mean, I feel like there's like maybe 5 genuine people, but
Wow.
And
I've heard people say this. And
Yeah,
It's
and I think
true.
it's because of how social media is a great thing, and it's because of how people are making life choices based off, what people are saying on social media, what they think, relationships should be, and the fact that people are easily swayed by
what they see.
what they see and what the other people are doing. So you can be in a relationship, love the guy, love the babe or anything, then you see maybe another guy coming to offer you, whatever, and you think, okay, what, I can actually double deal it or whatever. So it's just when you meet somebody that has their head screwed on properly, don't let them go, because
Yeah.
there are very few of them.
yeah.
And I agree with that
Yeah, very
100%
few.
because social media will really distract you.
Oh, yeah,
Speaking of
true.
social media, I know that we're about to wrap up, but
Yeah.
I gotta get into
Yeah.
it. Okay, so to me, my understanding of rap and hip hop is that it's more than just music, right? It is a lifestyle. It boils down to or goes beyond the walls of fashion,
Yeah.
Shooting
entertainment,
people.
shooting. Wow, wow.
Whoa! Oh, I was about to use the N word online. I can't do that. This guy crazy.
But people do live and breathe, eat, sleep,
Yeah.
hip hop, rap culture as a whole. So when it comes to things like beef, because we're not going to go into it, but you've had your fair share of exchanges, we'll
Yeah.
say, with people.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's just all a part of the process as regards to the genre of music that you predominantly make music in?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So
Or is
the
it
one
just-
beef,
yeah.
one beef that is like public that I've had, and
Factor.
shout out to who I consider one of the greatest hip hop artists. I think was just an energy that was bound to come. I think it was a great moment for hip hop. You know what I mean? Outside of the fact that it was a real beef, and things could have taken a left turn at any time. You know, hip hop taps into confidence, arrogance, self-belief, which self-belief is the mask on top of like insecurities, which means that people will get easily triggered. People will be like, yo, you said what you say to me? You said what? And it taps from that energy to, it's like when I play sports, there's a way I can be that I can't be in my regular life. Like I can walk
You
in my
have to be
office and be
like-
like, you ain't do the paper.
Right.
Wait, you know what I mean? But when I
Yeah.
play football, I can
Yeah.
I can talk that way. And I think hip hop
Is
is
that-
that sound, is that the music that taps into that. But it's also like introspection, right? It's also poetry. You know, if you listen to this album, you hear both sides. You hear me. The second track, it's poetry at the same time, but I'm talking that talk.
Yeah.
At the end of the album, I'm also saying the same things, but in a more poetic way, talking about being blessed. I think that the great thing about hip hop is that everybody has that one song. Like if you remember, like Tupac's "Hit 'Em Up," when it comes on, there's a feeling that it makes you feel, which is part of the human experience. Because when somebody hit your car, or that person was talking about you and you heard, and you like turned and you were like, okay, let's do it today. Do you know what I mean? Like we all have that. We all have that
Today, not
energy. Today, not today. And shout out to everybody. I have no beef with anybody. Social media, they always deal with me.
Yeah.
They do it. And I never know because I tweet and go to my house.
I
So
just go, yeah.
I always hear
But I
like
like
2
it, you
days
give
later.
them back.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I have
Sometimes
started
you
now.
give them back.
I've started now.
And it's okay. It's
There are
allowed.
1 or 2 people that
Yeah.
I have notifications on. Because what I discovered is this, that the early part of my career, I had energy early on. So we talk about me, I talk about them. And then I met those people, and then, one-on-one, and I felt like, man, that wasn't fair. I had a higher platform. So I tried to be a peaceful person. Like when something would happen, I would like apologize. And what I came to discover, my sister and brother, is that in Nigeria, when you're a peaceful person, they think that you're weak.
That you're weak. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
So people just talk crazy to you all the
Yeah.
time. And because I'm not on social media, I would miss.
You miss all those.
I would miss
yeah.
all those things, and all of a sudden it became like, oh, you can just talk crazy about
Right.
it.
Yeah.
I might.
That's true.
So what I did is that I warned one of them who was my friend, really warned him, blocked him on everything. Do you know what I'm saying? Deleted him from my life.
Yeah.
I didn't make it public because I knew he would have enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And then the second person who does it publicly, I've also recently, as a point of contact to everybody, to say, look, I am the guy now that if you know what I mean, because Nigerians they respect that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All your big stars, if you talk about them, they insult you.
Yeah. True.
Do you know what I mean? This is our culture. It's our energy. You do me, I do you. God no go vex.
I know. I
You know
get
what I mean?
it.
And you know, I'm in for that as well.
Yeah.
You know?
I also
Fair
believe that it's crazy, to be honest, because social media just gives everybody a platform to just say stuff. Yeah, I've been a guy that used to be talk my stuff back in the day. Yeah, but you get older, you get more introspective. You see some stuff, and you just be like, let me just let it go, you know. And I'm more, maybe because of the university I went to, I'm more of a I see you outside than I would
Yeah.
say,
It's
bro,
on
what's
site.
going on?
Yeah.
It's not on site or anything, but
Yeah.
we'll just talk about it like men, like how far. Then
Yeah.
depends on how you respond. We
Yeah.
determine, how we'll take it moving forward.
Yeah.
Or,
And
or anything.
another thing I also saw that's weird is that I rarely feel threatened.
Mm-hmm.
And so when somebody says something, I'm just like, I'll see the person and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
And so it like going online and like being like, yeah, blah, 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 doesn't really. But if that's what people want, you know what I mean? Like, we got that as well. You know what I mean? we can do that as well.
Let me just say one last thing before we wrap this up and everything. So, when you look at the history of hip hop and rap beefs or anything, for MI, with every beef you've gotten into, playfully or real or anything, you've come out, unscathed in a way, because when you look back and you look at the Rugged Man Idris and you look at all the beefs, you look at the 50 Cent Ja Rule, it's how you handle it might determine where your career goes. from there.
Yeah.
It could be you could get in the beef and it could just be career ending
Yeah.
for you.
Facts.
Yeah.
You understand? So
Yeah.
kudos to you, though.
Thank
for
you,
knowing
bro.
how to just
I mean,
navigate.
what would you say about a guy
Yeah.
15 years in,
Yes.
3 different decades,
Uh-huh.
multiple albums sold,
Mm-hmm.
label boss,
Uh-huh.
introduced some of the biggest stars. You know what I mean? I mean, the first time the world ever heard Wiz.
Yeah, it was you.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
CK.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about these are monumental, huge stars. You know what I mean? There's even a podcast where you see me talking about CK.
Yes.
That's you know what I mean? And then, as you just said, I like that. I want to add that as a feather to the hat. Been in a lot of confrontations,
Yeah.
still going unscathed. You would have to say
He's the guy.
that guy's the guy,
He's
right?
the guy.
Shouldn't I change my name to the guy?